Welcome, everybody. Today is January 28th. This is the Lunenburg Water District Commissioners Meeting. And we will start by saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have some minutes floating around from
Let
last
him right in, just
meeting
look at
for
it now.
you, Mr. Bursch,
We will review those.
review those. There's, I suppose I should
Pass those on.
send warrants right away also.
Yeah, couldn't make it.
Feel fit
What's
to
the boom on next meeting?
view and sign. So that's the
Yeah, lots.
lots. Gotcha.
We're such other stuff.
Oh, I read it.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, there are minutes for review for you.
I thought that's what we were taking it out of.
Which one, the surplus?
Well, but technically it's, don't you have to vote? So do you want me to change that right now? I can change it and
Yes.
print new ones right now.
No, you just.
No, we change it, we can
Just
change
Don't
it.
they have to?
Write the change, and then I'll just note it on here, like,
Okay.
just do it on that one, I'll read it, and,
Well, yeah, you don't need to,
That's-
but yeah, it's.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, we're going on that way.
Surplus account. So that's basically how it's gonna, as long as there's one that we vote on. I think we're fine. Mr. Chair, are you good with the meeting minutes of 14th?
Yes, sir, I am, because I was not present for those, so.
Yeah.
Oh, so I would make a motion that we approve the minutes of January 14th.
So moved.
Okay, all those in favor?
All those in favor?
Oh, sorry, that's your, aye, and you abstained.
Yeah,
You
I
weren't here.
abstained. I had a so moved, I had a lot of action over
It's
it.
okay, we got a lot of things done afterwards.
That's right.
Yeah, we did a lot of stuff while you were gone.
Yes, the one meeting. All right, next thing we have is the review of the June 30th, 2025 audit with Mr. Mark Mueller, and we're gonna delay that to next meeting, he wasn't available. Next thing we have is the review to vote the appropriate articles for the special meeting on February 25th, 2026 at 6 p.m. is which we have in front of us. Basically, this year is the 3 articles. Article 1 is to see if Lunenburg Water District will vote to appropriate the surplus from the surplus revenue account, the sum of $25,980.67 to pay past due IRS medical payments for employees. Number 2 is to see if the Lunenburg Water District will vote to appropriate the sum of $73,000 to purchase and install the Neptune 900 gateway data collectors we talked about this last time. And Article 3 was to see if the Lunenburg District will vote to appropriate the sum of up to $200,000 to buy a rubber tire excavator. So those are we had talked about previously on many occasions. So those are the 3 articles that we're pushing forward to this special meeting.
Mr. Chair, in your absence at our last meeting, we went over this and multiple other articles in depth, and anything that we felt might have some controversy to it,
we were gonna push to the annual meeting. All these were very straightforward. We had discussion with members of the public that were here for it, and felt that, some of these were time sensitive, that's why we put them in. You know, we owe this money to the IRS for the Medicare payments. Getting the data collectors, which will allow us to read the meters from a more central location, and get it online for the billing periods that we want to. That's why that was put in there. And we also felt that the rubber tired excavator would be something that would, I mean, if everybody wants to vote it down, it's just gonna be on the next one anyway. It's one of those things that we need, it's very versatile, it really helps the guys, especially with the future projects that we would like to do as far as capital main replacement and for water main breaks and so forth. It's just a much more versatile machine. And our backhoe is 20 years old.
2009, 2008 when we received it, it's 2009 model,
So
so
it's
it's almost
almost
18.
20, yeah, and that's a machine that we rely on the minute we have a break. So definitely due to be updated. That's all I have on that, Mr. Chair.
Do you have anything to add on that, Mr. Esposito?
I'm all for it.
Do we wanna take a vote on this, or?
Motion to approve the warrant.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the warrant for the special meeting of February 25th at 6 PM for the articles as listed, 1, 2, and 3, as we went through them. And then this is all gonna be posted, correct?
Yes, has to be posted.
Right.
It'll be in the ledger everywhere, it needs to be 2 weeks before.
Yep. And just, you know, the changes as put for Article 3.
Correct.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next thing we have is discuss Mass DEP letter regarding the kayak rack zone 1 at the Woodlands condos. Okay, so this has kind of been an ongoing back and forth issue since last year. After the last meeting, we did receive a letter from the Mass DEP stating that the kayak racks is in fact a violation and it needs to be moved within 90 days. This letter has been sent over to the Woodlands attorney. So
correct.
they are in possession of this, they know what to do.
They have it, we've not heard any response back from them. We don't really need to.
Nope.
They have 90 days.
In 90 days.
I was hoping we'd have a few of them in here tonight so we could get a response. But I guess they're not gonna show.
So this we got, everybody's gotta realize, they brought this to DP. It wasn't like we brought it and say, hey, the kayaks are a problem. They brought it to DP. They brought the golf carts, the kayaks, they brought a lot of stuff. And this was nothing that was brought on by us. It was them that brought it, now they have to deal with them bringing them on.
And the right thing has finally been done.
The reality is that we've spent a lot of time, both places have spent a lot of money on something that could have been fixed in probably 20 minutes.
We could have built them a giant kayak rack in
You
a
know,
different
it's just-
spot with how much money we spent on
It's just,
legal
it seems
fees.
very,
This is insane.
it's just wasteful for all, everybody involved. It's just, it's literally moved them 100 feet or something like that. It's not that big of a deal, but, okay, but that's where we're at. Now the DEP's put the final stamp on it.
Okay.
Hopefully they get moved and we all move on in life. All right. The next thing we have is Commissioner, Superintendent, Clerk, Treasurer additions. Brandon, what do you got, buddy?
A few things. I met with a developer for Burridge Street. We have talked to people several times for that regarding extending the water main
Mhm.
to the tenement
Yep,
property. He was just in today, just questioning how the process would work, you know, how we extend the main. I showed the map, I showed that it's not in the district.
Correct.
You'd have to do a petition and do it in an article to have the voters of the district expand the district.
Mhm.
And so I'm just making you aware that that's something that he's probably going to be working on. He said it was a nice development. I think the planning board supported it. It wasn't I don't think he was cramming it in, like a 40B kind of thing, so it sounded like he was, making it a nice,
How many residents or anything, what's it?
I think he was 20,
I missed some of the
I think he said
conversation, I
20
apologize, I was out.
20 houses?
No, we've seen before plans that go like from Burridge to Reservoir, is it still that, or is it just strictly off of Burridge?
Just off of Burridge, so he was just gonna do a loop off the Burridge.
So like a cul-de-sac, or just, you're saying a loop, not a cul-de-sac?
Yeah, a
Horseshoe.
horseshoe.
Yep.
So it would loop back, so he was looking to extend the main, Page Street to Burridge, and
Mhm.
just into his project and loop back.
And that's it, yeah.
That's it.
Page Street.
It's currently at the end of Reservoir and Page.
Correct. So this, on the good side of this, for our water system, is it would bring it closer to Arbor Street, to tie in Arbor Street,
Yes.
because that'd be a very important little loop to tie in.
So currently, it ends at Page and Reservoir,
Correct.
and then ends at the end of Burridge Street.
No,
There's nothing on
no.
Burridge.
I mean, not Burridge, ends at the end of Arbor.
It's on Arbor at Pine.
Oh,
So
okay.
we would.
We would have to loop
That's
it.
actually one of my system
Yeah,
improvement projects, which
Okay.
is, there's really nothing on Arbor Street.
There's
So
no
we
gas,
just-
there's no sewer.
Maybe a couple of drain pipes, I
Yeah.
mean, we could, that would be a.
Blast right through those.
That'd be a good project. Yeah,
That would
usually-
be a
Usually
very-
they're all rusted and falling apart anyways, probably. Okay, so anyway, just bringing you up on that, the survey that's, we've been discussing for months, we're gonna put on hold, there's actually,
For 1 week,
one week.
just till next week.
Only because there's a lot of information coming out from Mass DEP, and it's always been 0% interest for PFAS projects. That they're talking and kicking it to 2%. So we're not sure. They were supposed to have a vote on it. They tabled it, and so we kind of want to wait and see how this plays out a little bit.
Mhm.
I think we're all listening and talking to everybody that they're pretty confident it's gonna go to the 2%, so we don't wanna put the survey out there
With
with
that
a 0%.
Sure.
So we feel that we should show a 2%, show an actual number, because, people always think we're trying to finagle the game here. This is not, we try to be as honest as we can,
And this just came up like Friday.
so it's
That
all very new.
it's- yes.
And everybody's, all Mass Waterworks is on top, everybody's on top of it, which no one supports it. But I guess, we voted it down, but there's principal forgiveness going to all these communities. And they gave out too much money.
Sure.
Now they're paying for it, so. But
Oh, you-
they weren't smart enough to
You
get on
mean
that
when we
boat, so.
said that that wasn't gonna last? Oh,
Well, yeah, let's, make sure
Wrong.
we look at that.
So
Did
we're
last.
up, I already updated all the numbers
Yeah.
to
okay.
2%.
No, it makes sense to have the right information on cost, cause a lot of this is a financial burden to people, and if we wanna make sure we give them the accurate information, if we can't do, if 0% might be off the table, then we shouldn't
Sure.
be asking, we shouldn't be dangling that carrot in front of them,
I agree, yeah.
so.
The hard part is it's evolving constantly.
Yep.
So had we put the survey out last week and literally Friday, we found this out, we'd be liars, so that's
Yeah.
why it came up and it was like, just
So-
hold for 1 minute, and I know that, sorry.
No, good, yeah. So the survey, you could get to it. It wasn't live, so it's not, so we've had complaints about it. And, we could see everything on it, who kept trying their IP, so we could see they were on their phone, on the computer. They kept switching devices, we can see who it is, so we know who it is.
Yeah.
So, but, the new one, you're gonna have to put in the email address, your actual property address, so you're gonna be able to do one. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there was a miscommunication with the ledger. They posted that link at the end of our story, and and the QR code wasn't out there, but that link was there.
So people have tried to go.
So
to the
people tried
survey,
to go
the
in it
survey's
before
not-
we sent the QR code and everything out. So I had gotten an email saying, hey, this is flawed, everything's gonna be skewed. Responded and said, I apologize for the miscommunication, but the site wasn't live yet. It's so anybody who has gone in to do this. We're working on a post right now to say we're sorry, because also along with that, because it wasn't live, and this new financing coming up, we're gonna do a good post to everybody and say, you know, we apologize for the delay. We're trying to get this as accurate as we can, so we're not misleading anybody. But, you know, the one resident who went in multiple times on different IP addresses, those aren't valid, because it wasn't live yet. So, once we put the post out there, and I will reach out to the Ledger again, it's live, it's good, now you can start going to this QR code.
Just, I mean, communicate as much as you can, and then we'll just have to tell, when it's live, that's when we're gonna have
Yes.
to push it.
Yes,
Obviously, we're not gonna take the data that, if there was any data that's coming in now, it's not being collected.
no, we can see the
results.
back, we can see the names and the IPs and the, you know, the resident that went in 3 times, just under different IP addresses. So we can see all that data, but we need it known that we apologize for the misunderstanding that that link was there, but that wasn't live yet,
As
so,
long as we communicate it out, I think that's the best we can do.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, so the other things is a lot of posts in the editorial, Facebook posts. I don't know if you guys want to address any of those, because there's tons of false comments.
I
in there.
don't,
The only thing I'll follow up on it that I really don't like is everything that we've done with this on one of them is they're telling people we suggest a no response and a comment that they do not reflect the support for expansion. So after everything that we have done for months, spent money on this, you could have come in, if you don't like the way the survey is, come in and tell us what you would like to change. But now that the survey is going out, you're telling people not to respond.
So Bill Emke was here, he was the only one that made comments, that we need to tie Keatings to this,
Mhm.
and we did,
Mhm.
we did. So, other than that, everybody else, like she said, we've talked about it for months, no one's ever made a response. I mean, we brought him in at the beginning, to me, the main focus is the hard water, that's some of these editorials, that the hard water's not an issue, if we do a treatment plant with Lancaster and Keatings, hard water problems go away, which is absolutely 100% not true, that's exactly what we have now, hard water's a huge problem. So, to me, I wanna know what the hardness is for the people in town. Do they wanna address it, or do they not?
Right.
That's all, and whatever, I mean, if it comes down that they wanna just can Keatings feed the whole town? Absolutely. They can pump 1.4 million gallons a day, that's more than Lunenburg uses on the max day. Can it do it? Yes. If that's what everybody, the town wants to do one well, treat that's the cheapest way, let's do it. I don't care. Whatever you wanna do, I don't care.
Well, thanks for the passion, man. Yeah, I get it, but I gotta tell you, I'm not putting a lot of weight on some Facebook post. The whole point of the survey, as we said in the beginning, is this is not a law or anything, we just wanna get the input from the people. So, if people feel that they want to participate in the survey, that's why it's out there, send us how you feel. If people don't wanna participate, then it's like, don't vote, no, don't vote. I
But
don't.
to be told that
Not
you
true.
shouldn't respond because it's flawed, I don't like that. You're.
I don't like it either, but it's not, I'm not,
It's
just-
frustrating.
It's not,
This
as this
bothers
board
'cause
sits,
This is all hogwash, it's coming out all this crap. And to me, we need to address this crap, because people listen to these people, and they need to stop. They need to stop. So we need to start putting this out there and say, wrong, 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 these are facts. And we gotta start doing it. So maybe we do this survey, see how it comes out, we'll see how it plays, and then,
Well, I think one of the other ones that just needs to be addressed and will be addressed as we can come up with a formal thing is, there's lots of talk about this federal court action, so they're saying that at some point, you know, that it won't go through. That there's a federal court, and there was a new post that went out that links to it. And it's a great link, because this will show people that this does not apply to what Lunenburg Water District is testing for.
so there's
This link
there's
that the
multiple
Lunenburg-
PFAS chemicals. There's PFOS, PFOA, and then they call them Gen X contaminants. And that's what's in this post. And a lot of, like, American Water Works Association is going after the EPA, because EPA took them out. And they want them back in because they're dangerous. So,
Yeah.
so there's two sides of this. Yeah, one side they, hey, they want to pull them out. The other side, hey, no, you need to put these back. So there's all kinds of sides to this. Who cares what what happens there? It goes by Massachusetts. Massachusetts is 20.
Right.
EPA was 70, so I mean, we could have every well in Lunenburg on if it was still the EPA, but EPA is dropping it to 4. That's fact, there's nothing changing, this lawsuit applies to the Gen X ones, not
Not
those,
to
not
PFAS.
those. So, but Massachusetts, from the day that EPA released that, they have 2 years to set legislation to adopt the 4 parts per trillion. So they have till April. I just spoke to DEP today, they're working on it, and they're not sure when the actual date will be, but they're working on it. So when it comes out, Massachusetts can't be more than 4 anyway. And
Yeah,
Is there a link to that video that you showed me on YouTube? Do we have that out there?
it's not posted on our site, but I could,
Was it a link from one of the DEP letters, or,
remember the presentation we watched last year where they went in how the PFAS and all the communities that are going to be affected by the 4 parts per trillion? It was a informational one, and that was where they had the, EPA adopted this. We have 2 years to make it.
Yeah, my point being is, I watched it, it was a half hour, very informational. It spoke about the chemicals, it spoke about, allowable limits and everything, and it spoke about timeline that we are gonna have in Massachusetts right now. And it spoke about options of extending it, but they probably didn't feel that was gonna happen. So, for us from the DEP, the main things I got out of it was, we have to have a plan in place to treat this 2027. So we have a year to have a plan in place to treat the contaminants, because they're contaminants, cancer-causing, birth defect, immune deficient chemicals that affect people's health. And I don't understand I'm below we're just above the allowable limit of the chemical that causes cancer that I drink every day? Come on. So, after my rant for that,
Okay.
it did speak about that 2027, we have to have a plan. By 2032,
31.
31, we have to implement this plan. And what are they gonna do if we don't implement this plan? Well, they've shut wells down because we don't meet certain criteria from before, it's shown. So, we're gonna have a bigger problem the more we wait. You just talked about financing going from 0% with principal forgiveness to 2%. How long before that goes to 4%? So we all know the longer we wait, the more money it's going to cost us. So, clean water, when you look at affordable, I don't even wanna talk about that, but in order to have clean water for our residents to drink, you don't want any contaminants in it. I don't wanna push this problem down the road to my kids, their kids, and know that they're gonna have to deal with some of the health causes from this. So, I'm all for, pushing to treat our water. And to get it the best water for the residents to consume. Affordability, we're trying our best.
That's all ties
We've
to SRF.
already missed the boat on some good affordability. It's only gonna get more expensive, and if we keep listening to what people are giving us, great, their interpretation of the data, but they need to fact check, they need to hire engineers, they need to hire attorneys, because that's what we're doing. And for people to look at us as a board and saying, we're not doing our best for the community, and we think you're wrong, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep doing what I think is best for the community.
Right.
So, and I think any contaminant at whatever allowable level it is in our water shouldn't be there. I'm dealing with it my daughter has an autoimmune disorder. I see it, and I see it across the boards. And to me, it's going to cost us money, but I think it is worth it for the health of our future generations. Pushing this down the road is pushing a problem on our future generations. And I'm not up for that at all, just because I wanna save a buck. I'm sorry.
And the save a buck, SRF is, you have to go through SRF. And if you go through SRF, we have one source that gets us there. That's the Hickory Hills well. So if you don't wanna use that and you wanna do all the other sources, you're gonna pay the same amount of money to treat the two as to treat the whole system and good for
As to create the plan that you've created, that it, you know, it's pretty evident that we use multiple sources in order to use the funding to do what's best for the citizens of Lunenburg.
And just to touch on one other thing, the engineers for Lancaster Ave, they don't even feel it's worth even putting a treatment plant there because there's so limited capacity. And if I went and took all you down and look at well number 4 running, you can see every night it turns on and the water table just drops like this. You let it start till the next day when it turns back on, the water table is not what it was when it started. So every time you run it, it's decreasing. So when you take summertime and you run that thing every day, and we're only running it probably 10 hours a day, do it 20 hours a day. You're gonna see that thing running out of water. I've seen it 100 times. So to say, hey, let's go to Lancaster and do a treatment plant, you have one well that really can run 24 hours a day. So anyway, so that's the point. Lancaster engineers don't even feel it's worth it, but if we do a combination plant, tie into all of them, then that gives us, you know, multiple sources to utilize and do my little sip out of every site. You know, you don't wanna hammer every site.
Well, you know what I was talking about earlier? Just, my thought is, you're not gonna change anybody's mind. You can't fix stupid. And what I would do is, the same thing that happened with the kayak wreck. Sooner or later it comes around and it bites them in the ass, just like the kayak wreck did. I would just as soon step out of this whole thing, stop spending money, stop wasting time, stop frustrating the hell out of ourselves. Let happen what's gonna happen and let the DEP step in 2026 or 27 or whenever they're gonna step in, see what they're gonna do. We've done our best, we've worked on it for 2 or 3 years. You can't do anything about it. We got too many do-gooders, too many smart geniuses in town. They got all the answers, they know everything that's going on,
So
so,
the sanitary survey's coming up in April. So they're gonna review, as always, all the wells, they're gonna look at your kayak racks, they better be gone when the sanitary survey comes here. And you will see comments regarding the PFAS, PFOA. They're gonna make comments of where we are and that attention needs to be made. Because I keep saying I want something in, a letter in writing.
Sure.
Say, you need to treat this, because no one seems to believe us.
Right.
And they said, well, don't you know? I'm like, yeah, I know. But they don't believe it from me, you know, so DEP kind of laughs at it. Lunenburg, everybody laughs at Lunenburg.
Help me out, Fran, because this is something that I was starting to think about. Townsend, PFAS plant,
Yep,
Air, PFAS plant,
yes.
Littleton, PFAS plant.
Yep.
Is there one that I'm forgetting when I look around at our neighbors and see how smart they are, how much they care about their residents, that they're going to treat the water and get rid of this contaminant that's in the water that causes these health issues?
Plenty more on the way.
I'm blown away when people talk about affordability and people's health. I'm completely blown away.
My turn.
You're right.
Am I up?
I'm done.
what's the common denominator here that makes us different than everybody else? We all know what it is. I know what it is, I'm not gonna say what it is, but everybody in this room knows what it is. What the common denominator,
Look,
what the problem is.
Here's the
what is
bottom
that?
line. This is my turn now. I'll let you talk. While I find this entire process unbelievably frustrating, us as commissioners, it is our job to continue to pursue this, to ensure that our residents have clean, regulated water by the DEP. So all these things that we come into, whether it be certain citizens don't want to do certain things or whatever, what we need to do collectively is to come up with a solution that works for everybody. so we can have clean water. Now, hence the reason why we put out a survey, and we've done everything to it. That's what we will continue to do, period. I find the process insanely frustrating. I thought COA, Course of Action 1, was a pretty good solve-all. But we have a voting public that votes this stuff in or out. So hopefully this survey helps in the fact that we can get some input from the people that don't come to the meetings, okay? But we're gonna just keep doing this, and you're right. After this, if it gets voted down, you know what we're gonna do again? The whole thing, all over again.
We're gonna
So-
throw more money away.
You know, it's, sure, but we currently need to meet a standard of drinking water that is brought down by the Massachusetts DEP. We are not going to meet that right now, so we need to find a way to do it. We'll keep trying. That's all I can say. I find it frustrating too. Yeah, you know, believe me, you're right, every other community around here, starting with Littleton, who did theirs years ago, and I think the governor even went out there, they were so excited about it and everything, like, we need to find a way to make sure that we have it too. That's it.
I guess, Mr. Chair, my frustration, Mr. Esposito's frustration, is we are trying to do this. And I don't want somebody coming to me 10 years from now saying, you guys didn't do
I
this.
100% agree with you, and I do get a little frustrated, and I try not to take any of this stuff personally, and I see some of the shit that gets written down here, I'm sorry. I know that everybody on this board has put a lot of effort into making sure that this gets done correctly. So I do take some offense when I do read some of these things, and I never post on Facebook, but some of the things they said, because it's simply not true. What we're doing out here is doing our due diligence to make sure everybody can afford this and it gets done. Okay, so.
I have one last thing on this, and I haven't read any of this.
I haven't read
okay?
much.
And I do see a public resident here, and I have one question for him, and if he wants to answer it, he can.
But we're not in public comment yet.
Okay? Before somebody writes something like this, if it was any one of the two, there has been two people that have been contributing on a regular basis here, and I appreciate their contributions, and I think it's great. It'd be nice if whoever publishes this stuff or does this stuff actually comes and talks to us before they do it, so that we can get the facts straight. So there's not misinformation, because the public needs to know there is misinformation that is put out to them that isn't fact-checked. Or it could be fact-checked, but not engineer stamped and approved, and not knowing all of the rules and regulation of DEP and the EPA that we have to follow. So I would just ask that the people that put these things out, like I agree with you, I don't put a lot of weight on Facebook, unfortunately. But if people are putting this thing out there, it's you know, there are people that read this and say that it is fact. If the person's if they're gonna publish this, they should come and fact check and check with the professionals. Fran's been doing this for, yeah,
I would love to, one of these that said, oh, Massachusetts 20 parts per million, Lunenburg doesn't need a treatment plant. I would say that I spoke to so-and-so at Mass DEP. They stated Lunenburg does not need a treatment plant, because their PFAS levels are here.
Listen, I don't mean to be the shining light here, but many of these things that are put out to be misleading against us. That's period.
I know.
It's just why they're written.
Exactly.
It's written in a very well documented way, but it's simply false, and it's for that reason. And it creates, as soon as you create the doubt, that's all they need to do is create a little bit of doubt, and that goes a long way. It could be 100%, it doesn't matter.
I agree.
Okay, so just so you know, that's why they're being written this way. Do you have anything, Kristen?
The only thing I was gonna let you guys know is to start to think about, our CD that we had invested,
Ah, yes.
1.5,
Mhm.
is coming due, mid-end February 20th. Its rate was at just under 5,
Yep.
4.6. She said the rates are not that high. She said right now, obviously we can look when it gets closer and I'll get better quotes. She said right now, it's around 3.5, 3.6 for a renewing of 6 months. So we just need to think about time-wise. Do we want to for another 6 months?
what bank?
Rockland. Well, it was Enterprise. Enterprise got bought out by Rockland.
Yeah.
That's who we've always had.
The
And we-
only
that's-
suggestion I would have is just a check.
Sure.
Yeah, I could call around to find out other
Yes.
rates, but the biggest thing I needed to know was, are we looking to invest in another 6 months?
What was the percentage at Rockland?
She said right now, just giving me an estimate without giving me the full thing yet, was around 3.5, 3.6.
Still pretty good.
And these are,
Yeah.
this is the tank account, or this is the money for the tank?
Yes,
Yes.
yep,
Right,
yeah, I
so
think it's got
Don't want
roughly one-
anybody like dreaming up that we
Yeah,
have all sorts of money
No, no,
that's
no, no,
actually
this is the money
allocated.
that's been,
Right.
then we've
Well,
been investing
Yeah,
to
I mean,
keep
as we
earning.
approach it, we'll, get that number finalized.
Yeah.
Low
We
We
five,
had a tank
low
inspection.
five is.
Yeah.
It's all looking good.
It's all looking good
So
for the
we're good
next.
for another
yeah,
6
yeah.
months, okay, so I will get new quotes,
Low five is 369, I think, last
Okay.
time I checked.
new quotes for the CD for the next meeting.
Yeah.
Cause before this, yeah, the end of February. That was all I had.
Okay. Do we have any public comment?
This is Paul Grunditz, 35 John Street. This is one of the best meetings I've attended to.
Thanks,
Why?
Paul.
And that's all I got to say. It's a compliment to all you.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Anything else? Support.
Sean Fortune, 50 Hemlock Drive. I've got a few, as you might imagine. First of all, the money for the February 25th meeting, adds up to about 300K. Is that part of the normal budget? There's no overruns or overrides or anything like that? I just assume it's all part of the regular budget?
Surplus,
It's surplus, so
Yes.
300K is surplus?
yep,
Okay, great, great. Second thing, you had mentioned that the public gave no input to the survey. I will tell you, I have been on a task force. I spent a lot of time and energy writing questions and additions to that survey, all of which were rejected. We talked about the different costs of the different things, all of those things that were put in. So to sit there and say, nobody gave any input, you're wrong. And this is the problem that we have, that because you stand in the public meeting here, and if I wasn't here, it would just be public meeting, it would go out. But in fact, information was given back, and none of it was found in the survey. So I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I can tell you, there was a group of citizens that spent a lot of time putting responses in, looking for ideas of what the costs were, basically, of the different things.
John, where was that group of citizens?
Where was it?
Yeah.
Well, I was one of them.
Well, I
So
know.
it's a group of citizens.
I'm gonna,
Oh,
hold on, I'm gonna
Just
pause
telling
you,
you,
I'm gonna pause you
citizens.
both right here. This is public comment, and by all means, John, I want to have your comments.
So
Thank
do
you.
I.
No.
Hold on.
Well, I just gave
Hold
it,
on.
I gave it to you.
If you would like to take questions from us, that is your choice. I'm just saying that right now. You don't have to, you can just fire away.
I'm open to conversation. So there was a group of people that gave input to the survey. There was quite a bit, actually, it took several nights to put it all together, and we sent it back in. And nothing showed up. And a lot of it, I will tell you, was on costs. What's the cost of actually taking care of hot water, things like that? What is the cost of the different treatment plants, the different options? All of that was part of those responses.
No hot water. Treatment plants we did, it's in
Yeah.
the surveys.
yeah,
I don't know why that's coming up, it's in there.
yeah, the
Okay,
cost,
so, all right. So
Hotness,
you-
we can't afford, it's
you
$1.7
can
million
ignore it.
a year, okay, carry on.
a lot of those too, I know.
So do you
Mr.
want comment or not?
No.
I mean, you
Mr.
stood here and you said, we don't get feedback, and I'm giving you feedback, and now you're blowing it off.
Again, you're not giving accurate feedback, you're giving
I'm
information that's
telling
all a
you
bunch
what
of
we
crap.
did.
You did, you asked information, and it's in there.
Okay, fine.
Can I just check? We did get information. We reviewed it in our public meetings,
Okay,
and we put in what we felt was needed in the survey. Some of the stuff might not have. There was another resident that came in that spoke multiple times with the superintendent, had a lot of feedback and to say that we got feedback and didn't make any changes.
Yeah.
I think Fran made a lot of changes, spent a lot of time meeting with the one resident that would come in and meet with him and explain things and why things weren't in and why things were set up a certain way. Yeah, and if we didn't include a dollar value to hard water, because we already spoke about it in our public meeting before. And I don't think the residents had the appetite to spend $1.7 million annually expenditure on treating hard water. So, yeah, we left that out because it became this whole thing is going to cost so much money. We were trying to bring it in to what we felt was reasonable. And Fran worked very hard in working on the supplies that we have that don't have hard water, so that we could have a plan to mix and reduce hard
Right,
water.
we're
So-
stuck on hard
so-
water.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just saying
All I'm
that's.
saying is I was
that-
commenting back that the comment was made that there was no feedback. And in fact, there was feedback.
But
There
so, but
was-
that's, what I think,
there-
I think what you're hearing back is that you're sitting there and basically coming in here and saying, hey, we had all this information, you guys just threw it away. That's
No,
not
we
true.
asked for information. That's part of what the
But
survey
you're
questions
saying
were
right
for.
now, you're saying that there was a group of citizens that came in here with all these
No, I
concerns.
didn't.
And we
I said-
took those concerns and did nothing with them. That's not true.
That you are exactly right. Those citizens did not come in here. We had gotten the survey early. Christie sent it to us, allowed us to review it up
Okay.
front.
Yes,
We reviewed it. We gave some responses on things that we thought would be useful to see, for the residents to see. And maybe there were a couple of them. My point was, you can't sit here and say, nobody gave any input. People gave input. That was my point. That's all I'm trying to say.
Let me
But now
get-
there's people saying that the survey's junk, don't answer it?
I don't know, it was not me.
that's all I
I'm
was
not
trying
sure.
to get at, was I apologize for the
So-
misunderstanding. Yes, I know that we went back and forth, and yes, there was. But I was frustrated
Thank you.
to know at the end that those emails went back and forth. One of the other residents came in here, like Mr. Burch said, multiple times, had
Yep.
multiple conversations.
understand.
We have changed the survey to that, so now that the survey is coming out, why on the Lunenburg Citizens for Clean Water, a group that you're a part of, so I'm assuming you guys
Yep.
review when you as a group
I
post.
don't necessarily comment on there, but go ahead.
Oh, but I thought you were a part of it, you said you're
Yeah,
a
your
part of
name's
it,
on
so
it.
your name's on here
Yep.
saying that you're telling residents that the information or lack of is misleading, or any response on your part could be misinterpreted. We suggest a no response here until all questions are answered. So my frustrating part was I didn't say that correctly. Yes, we've had things, but if you guys, for the past few months, we have literally, this survey has been on here. If there was something that you guys, until all our questions are answered, what questions aren't we asking that should be on the survey? So if we've been reviewing this for months, why did a representative from the Lunenburg Citizens for Affordable Clean Water not come in here and say, I know you guys just approved the survey, it's done, but we have more questions. We wanna make sure those get answered before the survey comes out. That never happened. So instead of coming in and saying, okay, the survey's ready to go, we're ready. We've spent a lot of time and money and a lot of conversations with people. So now we're putting it out, and this citizens group for affordable clean water is telling its residents, don't answer, because we are not addressing all your questions. What questions are those?
I think it was the questions on cost were the issue.
But that could, if you felt that you did not get the answer that we talked about months ago, we have had the survey on our agenda for
Yep.
months. Review and approve, review and discuss, review and approve. This draft survey has been out for months. If you felt that this survey was not ready to go out to the residents, either yourself or any part of this Lunenburg Citizens for Affordable Clean Water should have called or come to us and said, listen, I know you guys are getting close to sending this survey out, but we're gonna tell people not to respond because we don't think you've answered our questions. That would have guided us. We would have gone, oh, wait a minute, we don't wanna waste our time and money. We don't wanna waste our residents' time and money on sending the survey out. If you guys are gonna tell everybody, don't answer it, don't help the water district. Do you
So
understand the frustration?
I
Like,
understand your frustration, yep.
Yeah.
I did not write that, but I understand your frustration.
yes.
So it's point well made.
So I apologize if what I was frustrated by saying that was the lack of communication was at the end. I understand there was communication at the beginning. The end, when this survey was talked about these past couple months, and telling people that we are not answering their questions. Tell us, Lunenburg Citizens for Affordable Clean Water, I'm asking all of you, email me.
Okay.
What are your questions?
This is-
Because nobody in the
I'll-
recent
I'll see
future, in the
you
past
One,
months, 2
two,
months, have
3,
asked those questions. And it's very
4.
frustrating to spend a lot of money.
Six pages. This is a lot of work somebody put into this, and they're obviously very passionate about it. But until they come and bring it, until somebody, if they got the time to do this, they got the time to come in and meet with Fran, ask for a board meeting, whatever it is. That's
love it. Come sit.
that's our frustration.
Right.
Is, you know, we are doing everything we can as a board. We are having these meetings, discussing things, going over things, and at the last minute, blindside, you know, and that's what I can't stand. And I'm not frustrated, I don't wanna voice my frustration towards you as a resident. My frustration is that we are putting a lot of time and effort, as Christie has said, and then all of a sudden.
Time and effort
boom.
to engage the public, to get their feedback, that's what we want. And to me, every time I see this stuff, it is like, no matter what we say, it's gonna come back, and this is meant to disarm, discredit, to do anything to us to make it look, disrupt the flow. Alls we're looking here to try to do is to get information for the public. Which way do you want us to drive this ship? That's what we're trying to
It's
do.
not a vote. It
It's
was
not
never
right.
intended
It
to be
never
a
wasn't.
vote,
That's
it
why
was
we
a,
did this, because after the last vote, it was an obviously overwhelming no. Okay, we still have a problem, we still need to treat it, we're gonna put this up. Sorry, John, this is your time. Keep that fire away.
Last question. I really want to ask this a couple of different ways. I got 2 questions, sorry. The SRF request that went in, could one of you tell us what was that actually for? Because the way I read it, it was for 2 of the wells, and yet we've talked today about being it for 3 wells. I believe it's for 2 wells,
Can I
correct?
answer that?
Sure.
Okay, at the time the SRF funding application went in, the data was not complete on the Keating's test.
Yep.
So hard to include that in the funding. The plan that Fran has presented from day one, and we could always, so once you apply for SRF funding, correct me if I'm wrong, Christie, Fran, somebody. If you get approved, you can always ask for an addendum or an add-on, correct?
Correct, we did.
Okay.
Last time.
So we did the last time. So we weren't able in this application, and it's a very complex when, you know, how we put these applications in. So we allow for our engineers to guide us on what's the best thing to apply for. So we didn't apply for funding for Keating's because we didn't have the information back from the pilot study yet by the time the application was due, so we couldn't add Keating's to it. But the intent was to add an addendum to it. The overall plan is to take all the water sources we have in the community, link them to one treatment plant, and try to solve as many of the issues that we currently have with the systems, the water quality and the PFAS. So how we get there, and it is a forever moving thing. We just talked about today that now they're not gonna have 0%, they're talking about bumping it to 2%. So it's an ever moving thing, and we try to stay on top of the information as fast as it comes into us. So the intent was to always have all the sources in town linked up to some sort of a treatment facility and operate from there, which would secure the foreseeable future of the water supply for the citizens of Lunenburg.
Okay, so will we see that plan before we're asked to vote on anything?
That's the goal, we're really trying to get there, but this is a moving target, so things happen where financing changes, and Fran's really thinking outside the box on ways to save money for transmission mains, and how to put them in, and can we put them in ourselves, and what can we do to reduce the cost?
Understand.
So,
So your question is like, will we Before we vote on it.
Yes.
Before there is a vote,
Before
before
there
you
is-
have the residents
yes.
to vote, will there be a plan that has the 3 well fields connected?
That would be, that's what I'm pushing for, because I
'Cause
feel
that's the
that's the
real
best.
cost, right?
That's the real cost, and that's the best plan that, you know, Fran has been working on, our engineers have been working on, that secures the affordable, clean water for the future.
And we heard from Fran earlier today, that if you could only do one, it would be Keating's, because that's the one that has the most water. to
Yes.
Supply the town.
But if there is funding to be had by incorporating the Hickory Hills well, because of the way the test went, and we could do more for about the same money, why wouldn't we do the best value?
I wanna intercept there 1 second. Yes, Keating's well is the highest producing, but in my opinion, no, Keating's cannot be the only water source in this town because of
It's a
the hard,
Band-Aid.
because of hard water. We couldn't run just the Keating's well. We've talked about this ad nauseum,
Okay.
okay, so. I saw it, Joe, with you, like, I mean, I
But if
gotta-
you're gonna pick one, then that would be the one you use.
that would be, yeah, it's the highest producing, it cranks out
Yeah.
water, it's never ending, but we cannot run just the Keating's well in Lunenburg.
And-
The hardest would be astronomical.
It'd be a disservice to the future generations, because it's not gonna be your end-all be-all at the end. And if there's a way for similar amounts, because of incorporating other sites, then, you know, I think that's what we're trying to come to here. And use all of the information through surveys, through public comment in here, through, some people's questions, if they're, you know, to give us the best supply we can for the future.
All right, last question, sorry. You
That's
talked
fine.
about all the different plants
Yeah.
all around us. Has anybody looked at the cost of what they all cost?
All of them, to me, all of them vary on the needs of the community.
Yeah.
You know, so it's tough to say, Littleton spent $80 million, that's what we're gonna spend in Lunenburg.
They didn't.
They didn't, they.
Everybody has spent like less than 20.
Correct.
Yeah, but did you see how much principal forgiveness a lot of them got?
Yeah, there's some of that, but
Yeah,
I-
it's not
what
allowed
I-
anymore.
what I looked
Hold
at- what I looked at was really the SRF funding for all of them, what the different SRF fundings. And I would tell you, the money that you're asking for is like twice as much. And I have data that I will share
Sure.
with all of you
Let's
for that.
If you don't mind me asking, in the data that you gathered here, let's take Littleton, for example. I believe that cost was about 20 million.
It was around 20 million,
Okay.
yep.
And what did they get for forgiveness?
I don't know off the top of my head.
It's about 7. When was that plant put in?
Well, I know that you got the funding for it in like 21, I think is when it was, 2021.
Okay.
It's just finished, right?
So, not just, no, it's been finished for quite
It's
some time.
finished, it's
All
been
right.
finished a year, because I know their costs now, which is a very similar plant to what we were talking about, at 1.8 million gallons a day,
Okay,
is gonna be $500,000 a year
okay.
for that, to run
Now,
that plant.
if they built that plant tomorrow, what
Yeah,
would
it
it
would
cost?
more, there's
So
no
that's what I'm
doubt,
saying,
there's no
before
doubt.
you just start,
There's no
we
doubt.
need to compare apples to apples, because
I am,
it's not, I
am
look at, I wish we
well
could
aware of
have
that,
done this
well aware
years
of
ago
that.
and done it for $20 million and got 7 back.
but
back.
the cost didn't double in the past 4 years.
So when we're sitting there and we're going out and we're getting all this
And it was just
information,
a simple question. I just asked you if you had looked at the numbers. I can provide you the numbers.
Johnny, first of all, it's not a simple question. It's actually very complicated, and I just want to be very clear on some of the things, because this is what happens, is you take this information back and you skew it, and then you try to discredit anything that we say. Okay, it's happened before, it's what you do.
So I asked you if you'd looked at the numbers, and I'm hearing maybe you did, you
We've
didn't,
looked
I
at
don't
the
know.
numbers, cause there was another resident who came here and said the air treatment plant was only this amount of money. So we contacted them. And we were gonna set up a site visit, we were gonna go through the whole thing. And then I actually spoke to the engineering firm, and he said, well, yeah, there was no iron and manganese, that more than doubles the cost of the plant. So a lot of information, he might say, hey, this was only 15 million. Okay, well, it didn't have iron and manganese, or it didn't have this, or it needed this, whatever it is. Boom, you just doubled it. So there's
Well, I
You
think
can
that's
take
what you
that,
were trying
but
to
you-
get
but
at,
you
is
need
that
to
you can't
know.
go apples to
Yeah,
apples.
That's,
you need to
all
know.
that, all that data's available.
Yes.
So all, what they're filtering is all available, that data's all available, right?
I'd love to see
Yeah,
it.
so we can, yeah,
I'm surprised you haven't, but yes, I'd
We've
be
got
glad to
all the
provide.
cost breakdowns from a lot of people.
Yeah.
And usually when I
Some
call
of
into
it,
them,
some
it's
of
not
it
true.
too is that you can't compare what one community did to what the needs are of Lunenburg. And we're looking at the needs of what the Lunenburg Water District needs to do these
Yep.
things. And there's no hidden fact that costs on everything have gone astronomically through
Yep.
the roof. And some people have funding options, some people don't have funding options, you know, and it's showing right now. We had an option at 0% with principal forgiveness, and they're already starting to raise those rates. So now, I mean, you know, interest rates significantly increase the cost of a project.
Of course.
You know, so again, trying to compare us to what everybody else is doing, Air, Shirley, or Townsend,
Littleton, Townsend,
we are talking about what Lunenburg needs.
you know.
And we are trusting in our engineers that, you know, they're getting the best cost we can, and nobody ever wants to hear that this is going to cost you more. So I would rather make sure that we are covered on all of our costs and expenses to do this thing, because we only got one shot at this thing. If we can't get it done for the number that we need, that we put out to the public, then it's not getting done. Now we're going back and reinventing the wheel. We saw this. Initially, Mass Ave, the water main was what?
800.
800. When we're done, it was
2.2 million.
2.2 million, you know? And there was, you know,
2 years.
that was 2 years. So the faster we act, and it is a proven fact historically, the less expensive it's gonna be. The more we push this out, the more things are going to cost us down the road.
So one thing to take note of in that survey, there was the breakdown of the cost for the different sources together. That's with the contingency, there's huge money in the contingency. It was, I'm gonna guess, I don't have the paperwork in front of me, but I'm gonna guess it was $10 million in each one of them.
10%.
Yep.
Contingency was 10%.
Only 10?
So, but at the end of the day, when we go out to bid, it's what it's bid for. But we have to allocate enough to cover whatever the bids are gonna be coming in. We can't be 10 million under,
So
or 2 million under, or 10%, or whatever it is. We can't be under, because now we're throwing the whole process out and redoing it again.
So our engineering firm has done a lot of these treatment plants, like Grafton, that has a special, the fluorozole.
Mhm.
They use a different, they use the GAC filters, which is the one I think we should try to somehow finagle in, because it will last forever. But, so Grafton, yeah, Tide Bond did that one. I think, did they tie to Littleton? I'm not sure they were Littleton, but, like Air, I spoke to theirs, so anyway, so that's, they give us the information, and they fully honest that one, they'll estimate at, 20 or 25 million, it'll come in at 12. And then another plant, they estimate same 25 million, came in at 40. So they said that depending on the contractor's jobs and the availability.
And that's gonna be a big
He
thing,
said
is
it's tough.
I think availability, because this is a big issue and everybody's working on it. And there's a limited amount of contractors that focus on this type of stuff.
That's why the cost is up.
And one of
Yeah,
these said,
demand.
you'll be able to get SRF funding, and that's not true. I think there was 38 communities last year that applied but didn't get it.
Mhm.
So the whole key thing is who has the worst site that gets them the highest points to get the money.
And we have a few things that are really going for us that help us get some of the funding. Because we're a small water system, we're considered a small water system, and some of the levels at one of our sites, the Hickory Hill site, it kind of cues us in for funding. So we're looking at every different angle, and these conversations are great that we're having. This doesn't help. Okay, this is after a conversation, this is opinion. And it doesn't help, because people are making assumptions without the information that we have. And I appreciate the time that you take to come into our meetings to have these conversations with us. I appreciate the time I can say it, Mr. Emke came in and spent a lot of time with Fran, having multiple conversations, trying to dial in and, you know, Fran never discredited him or anything. He said, yeah, some of his ideas, he was like, yeah, that's great, and you know, they looked into them and they worked together really well on it. So, we're not out here to try to do something wrong for the residents and the water supply. We truly are passionate about trying to do the best we can and do the best supply. Fran's good, he can retire tomorrow. He stays here because he loves his job and he loves what he's doing.
Starting to lose
And
that.
if Fran goes tomorrow, I'm sorry, I mean, we got a hell of a task in front of us to try to get somebody that's half as qualified as Fran is to do the job that he's doing. Because he knows so much about the system. He knows all the intricacies. So I trust his judgment a lot, and he's done a great job in his tenure here. I can never say that he overspent or did something that cost the community way too much money. Yeah, people do make, you know, they do have blips and there are things that happen. But, you know, you correct those issues and you move on and do the best you can. And I think that overall, I feel bad for like the select board when they gotta deal with the criticism that they get, you know, and the conversations that we have are productive. This is not productive.
You know what I can't understand? The taxpayers of the town, when the high school was going up for bids and stuff, I don't know, I didn't go to too many of the meetings, but they spent, I don't know, $40–50 million on a high school.
I thought it was more than that.
Well, it was 75, but I
Yeah,
guess.
we got some back there.
Got some funding, but the town coughed up, I think, around $40 million for the school. There wasn't much of a big hullabaloo about spending $40 million.
Oh, yeah, there was.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm talking about what we're comparing here to what we were comparing there.
No,
But yet they won't spend 20 million or whatever here to drink clean water.
It's more than 20 million.
yes.
For Christ's sake, give me a chance to get it out, all right? I'm trying, buddy.
Just trying to be accurate, man.
How much is it gonna be?
Huh?
How much is it gonna be?
40?
The maximum
Okay,
was
40.
they
That's
went up
still,
Well, now the
that's still a
funding's
high
gonna go
school.
up.
That's still a high school, okay?
Well, look at what high
But
school
you
But
know-
there's fewer people. There's
Right.
fewer people are gonna pay the bill.
There is, I agree with that.
Well,
True.
that's right.
There's 2,400 households,
But
2,417
now
or whatever.
you're comparing a high school to drinking
Te-
water.
Technically,
I would
there's
do
still-
away with the high school.
there's still
and drink
taxpayers
water.
that don't have Lunenburg water that pay for Lunenburg water, because all the municipalities.
Right.
Yeah.
So all of this is in our schools.
And that's
This is-
really gonna be the key to make sure that this gets approved, is that you don't peanut butter it across the 2,400. You peanut butter it across the water users.
Well, I mean, that's
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
so it's like the, you know, every Dunkin' Donuts, high school, or every municipal,
Right.
Business.
One water rate for everybody. Whatever the flat rate increase, what's that?
when we do the block rate, the more you use, the more.
Yeah, it's all
Yes,
based on
the more you
usage.
use, But as long as it's
all
all the
usage.
same for
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, everybody has the
So
same.
he pumps water into his
He,
tank to
he
bring the
pays the highest
more.
block rate.
Yeah, so he,
Yep.
whatever it is, right, so the rate's gonna go higher because the cost of water is way higher.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
if you take that and put it just on the connections, that's a huge burden.
No, we definitely have to figure out, once we get to the point, how we're going to fund it, but we don't know yet, because, again, interest rates keep changing, principal forgiveness changes. The cost of these things, until we open the bid, we don't know.
Yeah.
We're doing our best to give the public what we feel is a realistic number. Doesn't mean that if the bids come in lower, we're not, you know, oh, wow, we got some fluff. Let's go buy Fran a brand new car, and all the commissioners get cars, and,
You
you
get a
know?
car.
Yeah, you get a car, and you get a car, no. You know, we are trying to do the best job that we can here. We do care about the district and the people that utilize the water, and that's all. Some of the noise is very frustrating,
It's frustrating.
Do you have any?
I'm done, I've said that
No,
about
no,
you.
no, I'm done, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I appreciate it, the more people in here, the better, because these interactions help us to get the information out there.
So what if we had just an open meeting one day? Just
I'd love
question and answer.
I would
Come on,
love,
sit down and let's fire them away.
we have those twice a month.
Yeah, no, one just
Put it on the
specific
agenda
to
if
the,
you'd
to,
like.
to PFAS, you know, or whatever, the survey, or whatever.
Yeah.
Fire away questions, and,
Look, I'd love to have a town hall type of meeting where anybody can come and ask questions and, yeah, I'd love it. We've done it before
tried,
a little bit, but it just doesn't seem to, no one seems to show up to it. Yes, sir.
Just a suggestion.
oh,
Could we put that on the survey?
What? Put what?
On
I
open
mean, we
meeting?
could, look, we've done it
Well, the meetings
before.
are open, you're right. I mean,
You know, I mean, you know,
We have them.
the meetings
Yeah.
are open, last time.
And we've changed, we'll change time if people, if it's not convenient,
You're right. We have it twice
We're
a
as
month. We've
flexible
done
as
it
we can
before
be.
with the last time. Remember, we had Time Bond come in. We had one for like the town employees type of thing.
Yeah.
And then we had one for the open, and then we had, you know, some of that. But I mean, right, we're here twice a month, and always. That's why the survey's out there. We want the public's input on what we do. You know, it's not just people up here firing away. So, yeah. John.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
So.
Okay.